What's up, DILFs? Today I'm talking about Halo 2, a completely standalone adaptation of Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. This game has everything: explosion, gun, two-gun, freaks, geeks, babes, and biting social commentary about life in 19th century England. This is the second part of a 3-part retrospective I'm doing on the original trilogy of Halo. I put out a video last week talking about how much I like Halo 1, so if you're into that, consider opening a Roth IRA. Your time is coming. I've spent a lot of time thinking about how to best compare Halo 1 and 2. The resolution I came to should give you a sense of how I see not only the Halo games, but how I see the world in general. Are you ready? Here's an analogy. If Halo 1 occupies the same space in my head as Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky, then Halo 2 is floating around right next to Bionicle Mask of Light.
Now let's go!
Where Halo 1 had this sort of mystical feel, Halo 2.ass feels, at least in my head, more like 2000s sci-fi action butt rock. Non-derogatory. It's not that the game design is all that different or anything, it's a very faithful sequel, just that the mood and writing and visual styles kind of are. Not worse, just different. Halo 1 was the intro to this universe, and diegetically it was about discovering the remains of an ancient interstellar civilization. For the first half of that game I was entranced by that setting's majesty and intrigue, but about halfway through it transformed into light horror and isolation. The intergalactic war our characters are fighting at the beginning ends up feeling kind of petty in comparison to the incredible things they discover on Halo. In Halo 2 though, we never really feel any of these things. The humans in Covenant have regrouped and are focused mainly on fighting each other again. Even when we go back to the Halo rings, it kind of feels like we're treading the same ground, like we've run out of mysteries. From this point forward, Halo is more about the big space factions battling it out and digging deeper into what we already know than it is about discovering the secrets of the universe. Fuck shit are you doing? Yeah, you're gonna go out in the water, asshole? Alright, you're out of fucking line. The visual style is also a bit different. It's hard to boil it down into a sentence, especially when you're someone whose parents still can't trust you with a lighter. Mom, I'm 24, I have a credit card, I can handle it. This game is grittier, more worn down and lived in than the last. Your introduction to the new Halo ring isn't of the cold, empty, immaculate megastructures of the last game, instead it's of craggy, overgrown ruins. Not to say that those kinds of structures don't exist in this game, just that when we arrive on this Halo, we aren't meant to see it as incomprehensibly, divinely constructed. We're instead shown something that could just as well exist on Earth. Something that furthers this sense of familiarity is the color palette, which tends to trend towards warmer colors this time. When I think of Halo 1, I think of the colors blue, green, purple. Cool colors that often make the settings feel cold and inhuman. When I think of Halo 2, I think orange, brown, and gray. Warmer colors that make things feel more familiar and mundane, even if what you're seeing is just as, if not more, fantastical than what you saw in the last game. Areas like the library that were once filled with cold colors and lighting are directly reproduced in Halo 2, but this time accented with warmer colors. That's not to say that this whole game looks warm all the time, it's just a general, broad strokes, talking out my ass type shift in art direction. It drives home that the tone has changed. The cold, empty stone structures and the unnaturally tranquil surface environments are now filled with fire, dust, smoke, and breaking Benjamin. I'm not saying this game is lacking for splendor. I think it looks better than Halo 1 almost all the time. Not just graphically or artistically, there are so many places that top Halo 1 in terms of sheer inspiration. This game might have the most cool rooms per capita of any game I've played. And if you're a silly person, you might say the graphics are dated, but that shit just doesn't matter. This game took my breath away. The first level where you play as the Arbiter might be my favorite in this game. It's right next to the Silent Cartographer. It's one of my favorite ever Halo levels. Such an inspired location, a mining facility above a swirling gas giant. How fucking cool this room is. Mwah. C'est une tuerie. Tabernacle. This game is prettier than my second wife. God rest her soul. I love how, as a sequel, there's somehow just more of mostly everything we liked from the last game. Halo 2 seems to only ever expand from the groundwork Halo 1 set. There's more weapons, more vehicles, more enemy types, more dual wielding, even more protagonists. More isn't always better when you're making art. Sometimes it's better to subtract than to add, for fear of your project getting bloated and excessive. But in the case of Halo, I think I'll just take it. What? Damn it! Zooming on my ass. By far, the coolest, most important, most revolutionary, most fucking epic thing they added in this game has to be the wieldable energy sword. I'm serious, this is my favorite improvement they made to this game, and it's my favorite melee weapon in any video game. In Halo 1, you saw some of the elites holding like Lego swords, and all you could do was think, oh, that's cool, I wish I had a laser sword. And then you shot them in the fucking head. Now, you are an elite. You press Y to switch weapons and whoosh! Oh my god, I feel like Mark Wahlberg. The way they implemented this thing is impeccable. The animation, the sounds, the game feel, it's fantastic. It suits the nature of a first-person shooter perfectly. When you line up your crosshair with an enemy, your character does this lunge into their attack, and you realize this sword is actually a gun, except now you are the projectile. Whoosh! Whoosh! Oh shit, oh! You ever notice how there's actually no reason given in Halo 1 as to why we should prefer the human side over the aliens? Seriously, both sides are mirror images of each other. Both are highly militarized, both are racing to gain control of the Halo Ring superweapon, and both are trying to colonize space in essentially the same way. There's no difference in ideology that makes one morally superior to the other. It's two empires fighting over the same shit, for indistinguishable reasons. The back of the box even calls the human side a fledgling empire. The main difference really is that the humans that we're automatically aligned with just look more like us. Now, in Halo 2, we do at least get a direct contrast between the two factions. The aliens belong to a warmongering, infighting, theocratic dictatorship, and the humans belong to a government that I guess isn't any of those things. And that's kind of my main issue with Halo 2, is that it spends so much time developing and criticizing the Covenant society, but it never does the same for the human society. It's strange that the game goes to the trouble of introducing a whole new deuteragonist, the Arbiter. Deuteragonist? It's strange that the game goes to the trouble of introducing a whole new deuteragonist, the Arbiter, whose entire character arc is him deprogramming himself and turning against the government that indoctrinated him. But the main protagonist of this series, Master Chief, who's literally a human experiment raised to kill aliens, that's the actual lore, somehow never has a similar change of heart, even after he realizes that the aliens aren't so bad once you get to know them. What I'm saying is, I think the game is intentionally creating a double standard. The aliens are the evil warmongers that should rethink their ways, but the humans? Well, don't think too much about what our side is doing. We're the good guys. Hoorah! Hoorah! They should make Halo 3. They should really get around to that.